Hello friends, welcome back to Cosmopolitan Cornbread. My name is Constance, and this video is part of the Croctober collaboration. That's why I'm sharing a video on one of my off days. Normally I do new videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and scripture readings on Saturday. So the recipe that I'm making for you today is a super easy pulled meat type of recipe. And it's much like a pulled barbecue type of recipe, but this is not a barbecue like you would be accustomed to. This one actually uses peach preserves and sriracha. Now this recipe originally, when I had published it on my website, was made with pork. It was a zesty peach pulled pork recipe, but I stopped eating pork a few years ago. So now I make this recipe with chicken breasts or thighs or turkey breasts. So I've already put the chicken into my slow cooker here, and now I'm getting ready to mix up the sauce that'll get poured over the top. We're gonna need a ½ cup of orange juice. We're going to need 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. We're going to need 2 tablespoons of sriracha. We're going to need 3 cloves of grated garlic, but as a shortcut, I'm using some of this garlic paste from the produce department at the store. 3 cloves of garlic would be about a tablespoon of this garlic paste. Then I also need a tablespoon of grated fresh ginger. Once again, I'm using one of the pastes from the produce department. Great shortcut. Now I'm just going to kind of whisk these together. And the last ingredient is 1 cup of peach preserves, jelly, or jam. Now, of course, I'm not really going to be able to whisk this into the sauce and get it smooth, but I'll just break it up into little bits because it'll melt when it gets into the slow cooker and starts cooking. To kind of help it along, I'm just going to spoon it out into the bowl. All right, that is it. Ooh, look at that red sauce. So now I'm just going to pour this all over the top of the chicken. On with the lid, and I'm just going to turn this on to low for 6 to 8 hours or high for about 4 hours. And then when it's done cooking, we'll come back, shred it all up, and it will be ready to enjoy. So I'm going to go about my day, and I will join you back here later. So I thought I would take a minute for those of you who are new here to just simply introduce myself. As I said at the beginning, my name is Constance. I've been a food and lifestyle writer for the better part of 2 decades. I have a website, cosmopolitancornbread.com, where you can find over 800 recipes and many articles on homesteading, home cooking, and faith, which is what you see here on my YouTube channel. I do at least 3 new videos every single week on homesteading, home cooking, and back to basics. I do a weekly scripture reading on Saturday morning. So my husband and I were an active duty Army family for 25 years. After he retired, we planted roots in Alabama for what we thought would be forever. forever ended up being about 7 years, and we had built a homestead from scratch there in Alabama. And not that long ago, the Lord started calling us to the mountains of Arkansas. I have a video where I share that story, and I will put a link to that in the video description if you are curious to hear about it. This is Nubs, one of our Manx farm cats. There's nothing wrong with his tail. He was born this way. Manxes are a short-tailed breed of cats. We have another one that looks almost identical to him, and that would be his sister, Stumper. So here at our Arkansas Mountain Homestead, we are once again building a homestead basically from scratch. We just completed our permanent chicken coop and are working on structures for the other animals. We have goats, we have a miniature donkey, miniature mule, and as soon as the arborist comes to take down some trees for me, we will be building a brand new garden, again from scratch. If you like what you see, please be sure to hit the subscribe button. And the best way to stay up to date with everything happening here at the homestead, whether it's on the YouTube channel or on my website, is to sign up for the free email newsletter, which of course you can find linked in the video description. So with that, I am going to go do afternoon chores, and then I'll meet you back in the house and we'll finish up this recipe. Alright friends, so the Zesty Peach chicken has been cooking all day. I've been running my errands and doing all the things today. And so now I'm just going to pull it out and I'm going to shred it and it will be ready to eat. Now when you make this recipe, you can actually use all sorts of different preserves in here. It doesn't have to be peach. This is excellent with blueberry jam, blackberry, pomegranate. There are so many different versions of this that you can come up with, and they are all fantastic. All right, so I'm just going to start shredding this chicken, and it'll go back into the sauce to get nice and coated, and then we can serve it on a burger. You could also serve it on top of some sweet potato fries or in a baked potato. There's all sorts of things that you could do with this. Alright, so I'm just going to take my tongs and kind of turn the chicken all over through that sauce and just let it get thoroughly coated in it. Alright, so there you go, friends. Zesty peach pulled chicken. You can get a printable version of this recipe on my website, cosmopolitancornbread.com, and I will put a link in the video description down below where you can find that. Thanks again to Jenny at Jenny's Scratch Made Kitchen and Tony at Kettle Kitchen for inviting me to participate in the Croctober collaboration. So thanks for joining me here again at the Homestead Kitchen. My name is Constance from Cosmopolitan Cornbread, and I'll talk to y'all next time.